It is a rare afternoon here on the channel, or I guess by the time you guys watch this, it'll be a rare evening on the channel. I'm going to do something that I don't often do. Matter of fact, I don't think I have defended Stephen A. Smith since woke Twitter made a big deal about his Shohei Ohtani remarks back in July. Now, of course, I came to his defense, then Stephen A. turns around, gets down on his knees, and apologizes to the unemployables on Twitter. People whose only skill in life is converting oxygen to carbon dioxide. But that's okay. What's right is right. This is not an agenda-driven channel. When I see Stephen A. Smith being unjustifiably attacked, we're going to come to his defense. Then I'm going to torch him for remarks that he made on Woke Take this morning. I'm a positive person, so we're going to start out with the positivity. Yesterday was the 2-year anniversary of the death of Kobe Bryant. Everyone was doing tribute videos remembering the life of Kobe Bryant, including Stephen A. Smith, who I'm pretty sure knew Kobe personally. Kobe Bryant was the last of a dying breed in the NBA. He was the last of the old school players. It's the mentality of the old school players that I'm talking about. The toughness, playing through injuries. You don't miss games unless you can't walk. You don't wait until April to play defense. You start playing defense in October. Kobe was the last NBA player that had this mentality. Actually, you know what? I'm going to include LeBron James in that group as well. I know I criticize LeBron for being a loyal comrade to the social justice movement, but I will never discredit his dedication to the NBA. Like Kobe, LeBron James, he gives 100% every night. I respect him for that. But anyway, Stephen A. Smith, he aired a short tribute to Kobe Bryant yesterday. If he didn't learn his lesson last summer, maybe he will wake the hell up and learn it now. And that lesson is, it doesn't matter how much money you deposit into the woke bank. There is no loyalty with social justice warriors. These are professional agitators, professional haters, people who relish in misery and want you to be miserable with them. Check out this short clip. This is part of Stephen A.'s tribute to Kobe Bryant that caused Twitter to go from full chub to flaccid in seconds.
To keep folks focused on whatever task is at hand. Players missing games for reasons having nothing to do with injury? That was not Kobe Bryant. Players collecting paychecks without regards to regular season participation? That was not Kobe Bryant. Players prioritizing any and everything but championships? That was not Kobe Bryant. He was.
What the hell did he say that was so wrong? Everything that Stephen A. Smith said in that clip was 100% factual. That's one of the reasons the losers on Twitter are so upset. These people are allergic to the truth. Now let's take it point by point. Players missing games for reasons that have nothing to do with injury. Sounds like the modern NBA to me. I don't remember Kobe Bryant sitting games for rest. Sorry, Phil, I can't play tonight. I know it's only October, but my statistician says I need to rest so I'll be ready for the playoffs. Throughout his career, Kawhi Leonard has missed 35% of the regular season. Kyrie Irving's not much better, though I will disagree with Stephen A. Smith on one point. He talked about players collecting paychecks without regards to regular season participation. He showed a jersey of Ben Simmons, agree with him there, but then he showed Kyrie Irving's jersey, with the insinuation that Kyrie is collecting his money while missing games because he won't get vaccinated. That's simply not true. Kyrie is forfeiting his salary on games that he misses. The reason Twitter is so upset with Stephen A. Smith, they are accusing him of using Kobe Bryant to criticize modern NBA players. How dare you use a tribute video to shit all over the modern NBA? The modern NBA deserves to be shit on. If Stephen A. had done this immediately after Kobe's death, I would think it was distasteful. But it's been 2 years. Kobe Bryant hasn't been forgotten, but the shock factor has worn off with time. Like I said, the modern NBA deserves to be shit on. I read through many of the comments on Twitter, the offendables, the people all upset because of this. Most of these people look young, early to mid-20s. Well, those with actual pictures. Some of them had cartoonish Pokemon shit as their pictures. And what the hell's wrong with that generation? If you're an adult and you're still into Pokemon, you really need to reevaluate your life. You have serious issues. But I mentioned the ages of people calling out Stephen A. Smith for this because this generation doesn't know what the NBA used to be, what the NBA is supposed to be. There is a reason the NBA has the youngest audience of any major sport. Guys my age or older who grew up watching in the 90s, we don't recognize the modern NBA. The game, the players, it is soft compared to the players of the 90s. Most of my friends who grew up watching the NBA, they quit watching. Now they'll watch the playoffs, but they're not checking for the regular season. The games are meaningless. If the players don't care about the regular season, why the hell would anyone waste 3 hours watching it? The NBA is attracted to the younger generation because they just don't know any better. People over the age of 35, they could care less about the modern NBA. I don't understand what was so upsetting about Stephen A's tribute to Kobe Bryant, but I also don't get into my feelings when someone speaks the truth. And my God, it is rare. It is rare for Stephen A. Smith to speak truthfully. I'm about to give you another example of him being full of shit. The Denver Broncos hired Packers offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett to be their head coach. Nathaniel Hackett is white, so you already know where this is going. This is blasphemy. This is shameless. The Broncos, they should have hired Eric Bienamy. He's black, and we must have more black head coaches. Otherwise, the NFL is racist. John Elway actually interviewed Eric Bienamy. You know, Stephen A. Smith, others, they used to bitch and complain that black coaches were not being interviewed. They weren't being given the opportunity. That complaint was justified. It really was. So the NFL, they implement the Rooney Rule. Then the complaint was teams aren't interviewing enough black head coaches. Of course, now the complaint is there aren't enough black head coaches. No other race is ever mentioned. I never hear complaints about not having enough Hispanic coaches, Asian coaches, transgender coaches. Maybe the Saints, maybe they can give Leah Thomas a call. She can replace Sean Payton. Anyway, John Elway interviewed Eric Bienamy. Ultimately, he decided Nathaniel Hackett was the better option for the Broncos. Now, in a rare instance of intelligent analysis, Stephen A. Smith explains why Nathaniel Hackett was the better option for the Broncos. Then, he gets a little buzz in his ear. One of the executives at ESPN, they send him a reminder that the woke train is boarding. Stephen A., remembering that he's paid $12 million a year to push propaganda, not intelligent analysis, he jumps into the driver's seat of the woke train, pulls the horn, and proceeds to drive the train directly into the Hudson River.
But if Aaron Rodgers ends up going to Denver, essentially Hackett was hired because that's going to get us Aaron Rodgers. And I can't fault John Elway for that either. I can't blame him for that. It's just a damn shame when I see something like this in regards to Eric Bienamy and his resume. And then you put that up against Nathaniel Hackett's resume, because the great Aaron Rodgers hasn't been in a Super Bowl since 2010. And Hackett wasn't even an offensive coordinator in the National Football League at that particular moment in time. He didn't get to Buffalo until 2013. And so for him to end up getting a head coaching job, okay, when he had Aaron Rodgers and him in combination with Matt LaFleur hasn't been able to get you over the hump, and you just scored 10 points in an NFC divisional playoff game on your home turf in inclement weather where you were supposed to be at a decided advantage against the San Francisco 49ers team that, oh, by the way, was playing on a short week and had Jimmy Garoppolo as their quarterback, and the special teams scored. The defense for Green Bay held you to 6 points, and your offense can't generate more than 10 points. And a couple of weeks later, you get a head coaching job. But Eric Bienamy, with those qualifications, doesn't get the job. I'm telling you right now, as a black man, it is sickening. It is insulting. And it bothers the living hell out of me. It really does.
The resumes of Eric Bienamy and Nathaniel Hackett are damn near identical. Damn near the same experience as offensive coordinators. Both have coached at the NFL level since 2006 with short stints at the college level in between. Saying Nathaniel Hackett is less qualified because the Packers put up 10 points last weekend is asinine. It's irrelevant. If Stephen A. Smith actually watched the NFL, he would know that the weather last weekend in Green Bay was actually an advantage for the 49ers, not the Packers. Stephen A. said it himself. The resumes are comparable. They're comparable. I agree with him. So, what could have possibly been the deciding factor? Casey, you just know race was the determining factor. Yeah. If I were a dumbass, that would be my reasoning. Fortunately for me, I'm not. The Broncos are going after Aaron Rodgers this offseason. He has been linked to Denver for the past year or two. If you're John Elway and you are trying to lure Aaron Rodgers to Denver, who gives you the best chance of making that happen? Eric Bienamy, who has no relationship with Aaron Rodgers, or Nathaniel Hackett, who has been working with him for the last 3 years. You see how simple that is to understand? But that doesn't fit the narrative at ESPN. It must always come down to race. Eric Bienamy has a checkered past. We've talked about it before here on the channel. Now, is that impacting him getting a head coaching job in the NFL? I don't know, but it's highly likely. When everything else is equal, qualifications, resumes, experience, when everything is equal, you look for other determining factors. In this case, it was Aaron Rodgers. The checkered past of Eric Bienamy, it might have played a part, but I'll tell you what had nothing to do with it was his skin color. All right, let me know what you guys think. Stephen A. attacks the modern NBA, then turns around and goes back into woke mode in the NFL. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.